Bringing the experts to you. If you want to meet a goal, you must have good habits, and that includes with your finances as well. Wealth manager Jim Sloan is here for the next 45 minutes to an hour or so this morning. So, Jim, you say we can train ourselves into good financial habits. So let's talk first, I should say, about growing your net worth.
Well, Chris, there are many places to begin growing your net worth, and I would think for many people a good place to start would be to reduce your consumer debt, because what that will do is allow you to increase your savings. You know, another place to look for additional net worth is, look for new ways to generate income or get paid more for what you do, and over time you'll see your net worth grow.
So what are some tangible ways to do this? I mean, it's one thing to say, save more money. Where can you find extra money today, right now? How do you do it?
For many people right now, today, a good place would be in their tax returns. Let's say you're getting back a $1,500 tax refund every year. Well, that just tells me that you're overpaying $125 a month in tax withholding, and you don't need to do so. So there's a good place right there. Take those dollars, begin saving for yourself. It all adds up over time.
In about 10 minutes, Jim will be back to tell us about paying off your debt, something a lot of us need to do, certainly. Jim, thank you. Your financial habits today could determine your tomorrow, so pay attention. Wealth manager and author Jim Sloan is back once again to tell us about developing some good financial habits. So, Jim, let's talk about debt. Let's say somebody has debt, like a lot of Americans do. They need to pay it off, but they also want to invest at the same time. Can you do both at the same time?
Well, you could, certainly, Chris. But, however, just understand that there's good debt and bad debt. A good debt is when it brings you income. You know, let's say, for example, you have some rental property. Well, you have a mortgage on that rental property. However, that's considered good debt because it's bringing in income from the rent payments. So bad debt is consumer debt or credit card debt, and that's generally high interest debt. So you probably want to pay that off before you begin investing.
Well, let's talk very quickly about investing. What if you don't have a whole lot of money to invest? You can still put it towards something, right?
Sure, absolutely. Start somewhere. Start somewhere, even if it's small amounts, because over time it does build up, and pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first. Very good. Okay, in our next half hour, Jim will be talking about securing your family's future. Important stuff there. Jim, thank you. I'm one of the enraged Americans. That's silly. 5:41 right now. Your family's financial future is in your hands, certainly. Today, you need to make some smart decisions right now. All you really need is some good financial habits. We've used that word frequently this morning, habits. Wealth manager Jim Sloan is here to tell us how to develop them. So, Jim, a concern on the minds of many, as I mentioned, is how to secure your family's future. What do you got?
Well, another habit, good habit, Chris, would be to understand what your total fees are on the investments that you have. You know, you want to know what your total fees are, undisclosed and disclosed fees. And if you don't know, ask your advisor. We typically see investors paying 2 or 3 times more in fees than they originally thought they were paying.
And you're talking about fees for, let's say, your 401k. A lot of people don't know. You've got to pay fees for them to manage that, right?
Very, very true. Very true. The 401ks, a lot of people tell me, or have told me in the past, that, oh, well, I'm not really paying much fees, or my employers are paying all the fees. Well, the truth is there are significant fees inside of 401ks, and the Department of Labor has recently issued some new regulations that will make sure that all of those fees are disclosed very soon.
In just a few minutes, Jim will be back to tell us what 3 things you certainly do not want to hear from your financial advisor. Stay tuned for that. Well, I need to get my plane ticket. I'm gone. 5:46, kidding. Our final segment now about developing good financial habits. Jim Sloan back once again. He's a wealth manager and author. So, Jim, what are the 3 things that you don't ever want to hear from your financial advisor?
Well, you know, Chris, a lot of investors think that they've saved enough, but with the past decade, 12 years or so of market volatility, maybe some are not so sure now. So let's say they go sit down with a financial advisor. Here's the things you don't want to hear. Mr. Jones, you're going to have to work longer, you're going to have to save more, or you're going to have to take more risk. Those things don't have to happen. They don't have to be said to you if you take steps today to help those causes.
Jim Sloan, we appreciate your insight. Wealth manager and author. Jim, we'll see you next week. Thank you, sir.
Okay.